Hey, everybody, and welcome to episode 57 of the Computer Business Marketing Show. Today's episode is brought to you by Tech Reputation. Tech Reputation offers IT business owners a simple and effective way to manage, acquire, and market your positive reviews online. In addition, the online dashboard includes the ability to enter your company details once and have it published automatically to over 60 directory and review sites and keep it updated, synchronized, and without duplication. For a 14-day free trial, visit techreputation.com/TSB and you get 10% off your setup and monthly subscription, also with a no-risk 30-day money-back guarantee. Again, that's techreputation.com/TSB. Today's show is also brought to you by Tech Blog Builder. Tech Blog Builder is the writing service for IT businesses. We craft content that converts website visitors into customers with 100% unique, SEO-ready, professionally written blog posts delivered on a consistent schedule. Learn more at techblogbuilder.com. On today's episode, we have our good friend Patrick Palmer on the show to talk about a cornucopia of marketing topics. We cover tech support scams, coffee shop office hours, fake Facebook likes, Google alerts, and how all this helps him to be the trusted go-to computer guy in his area. All that and so much more coming up right now. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Computer Business Marketing Show. If you work or own an IT services business, this is the place to learn how to get more clients, keep them happy, and grow your revenue. You can watch, download, and or subscribe to all show episodes at computerbusinessmarketing.com. You can also catch our live stream right now on Facebook. That's Thursday evening at 7 p.m. Eastern. Just be sure to like the Tech Site Builder Facebook page, click the following tab, and then select See First so that the live stream will jump to the top of your news feed. All right, guys. Well, today, as can happen with these types of live shows, I have guests booked and stuff happens with the guests. And if they can't show up for the live show, I still got to do the live show. So luckily, I've got a great group of folks hanging out in the Computer Business Marketing Facebook page, one of which is my guest today, and that is Patrick Palmer. You might recognize him from being a guest previously on the show. He's also regular in the Computer Business Marketing Facebook group, and he is, as you can see there, the computer guy. And so we're going to talk to him in a minute about, just some kind of topics in marketing that have been coming up in the Facebook group and some of the stuff that he's seen going on in his, his daily workings on the ground, in the trenches, fixing computers for folks and running a computer business. But before we get started with that, just a couple announcements. Want to remind you guys to check out the Computer Business Marketing newsletter. That is the place to go to get your weekly digest of tips and tricks to grow your computer business. We have the latest podcast episode in there. We've got some curated lists of different news stories that are around marketing. We got always a tip of the week for you, and we have a kind of a curated list of some of the best Facebook posts from the Facebook group. So if you want to get all of that in your email inbox every week, check out the Computer Business Marketing newsletter. Just head on over to computerbusinessmarketing.com and fill out the form there at the top, and you'll be on the list. And before we get into the interview, just want to give a shout out to our sponsor, and that is Tech Reputation. Tech Reputation offers IT business owners a simple and effective way to manage, acquire, and market your positive reviews online. So let's break that down. First, manage, right? You get reviews from different places, from Google, from Facebook, from Yelp, and there's like dozens of other places where people could leave a review about your business. And you don't even have to physically have set up a profile on those pages. A lot of these places, these business directories, will scrape the internet, grab your business info, and then start marketing their services to consumers, saying, hey, we're a directory, rate your experience with the so-and-so company. They'll go and give you, 2 stars or whatever, and you don't even know that exists on the internet. So what Tech Reputation does is it helps you manage all of your reviews online by giving you a list of all of your reviews and aggregating it all so you can see, how's the health of my reviews doing? What are my average ratings? How many ratings am I getting from different platforms? You can visit those review sites to see, maybe have a chance to respond to a not so favorable review. So that's the manage part. The second part of the equation is the acquire. So you want to get good reviews, and sometimes you forget to ask, or that might not even cross your mind to ask your customers to leave a review for you online. You might say, hey, if you had a good experience, tell your friends. That's good too. But you also want to get that online proof, because more and more that's becoming kind of a big deal. People are looking at your business online to see what your reputation is. We're actually going to get into that a little bit later in this episode about reputation and reviews and that kind of thing. But Tech Reputation can help you with that by basically they'll send a message to your customer when you're done with service, and it integrates into some of your favorite automation platforms like Repair Shopper and Synchro and some of the other ones that are out there. And basically when you close out the work order, it sends an email to the customer saying, hey, rate your service with us. And if they rate it well, then it's going to send them to one of the online review services to leave a review. If they say the service wasn't so great, then it gives them an opportunity to come back to you to help alleviate whatever problem they were having. So it's called a review funnel, and it helps funnel the good reviews to Google or wherever, and the bad reviews back to you. The third part of that equation is market your positive reviews. So with Tech Reputation, it gives you a little widget that you can put on your website, or it creates nice little graphics that you can put on your Facebook page or wherever that highlight your reviews, how many stars, a little quote, and you can put that, have that automatically show up on your website or wherever you want it to. Tech Reputation does integrate with Tech Site Builder. So if you sign up for both of those services, you can get your reviews, aggregated reviews online, automatically posted to your Tech Site Builder Facebook page, totally hands off, and you can keep those reviews coming in. So all of that is available from Tech Reputation, and you can check it out with a 14-day free trial plus 10% off your monthly subscription and setup fee. So once that 14-day trial is done and you're ready to use it, then you can get 10% off. Just go through the URL techreputation.com/TSB and follow the instructions there to get 10% off. And they also offer a 30-day money-back guarantee. So even after you pay, if something comes up and you're not satisfied, they can give you your money back within 30 days. That's all available for you at techreputation.com/TSB, and we thank them for being a sponsor. All right, so let's jump into the interview. I have Patrick Palmer here, the computer guy. And Patrick, before we jump into kind of the topics that we're going to talk about, why don't you just remind folks, where you are, what you're doing, and how long you've been in business?
Yep, I'm Pat Palmer, the computer guy here from Hampton, Iowa, and that is just in north central Iowa. And I think I've covered it before, where I'm located about 45 miles from the Minnesota-Iowa border, south right on I-35. And if you've heard of, I use some musical references as my cat comes up here. He might be bouncing around a little bit. He's needy. He's very needy. Mason City, Iowa is our next closest town. I do a lot of business there. And if you've heard of the Music Man or Buddy Holly, Richie Valens, the Big Bopper were killed in a plane crash outside of there. And so anyway, Music Man is, you got trouble in River City. River City is actually Mason City. And that's a town of about 30,000. I do a lot of business up there. And I'm a traveling tech. I don't have a shop. It's in my home right in the next room over here. And I used to have a shop, and I used to have an employee. And I just found there was kind of a little dip there for a little bit around 2010, 11. I wasn't seeing the home user paying $250, $300 anymore to fix their computers. It was like, I'll just buy a new one. And you're still going to have the data transferred. Explaining that was a rigorous thing to do. So anyway, I travel around. I have a route. I go north 2 days a week. I go west today. I go south today, and I go east today. So that's kind of what I do. And Last year, I think I drove about 32,000 miles. I'm
Wow.
trying to get more into the remote work. I'm lazy. I haven't done that yet. What I'm really looking forward to doing is, on my website's thecomputerguy.bz. Find me on Facebook. You can follow me there. I just talked to 3 techs this morning, said, hey, can I use some of your graphics to promote, what you're doing? I said, sure, go ahead. I don't care. I would rather have techs from Minnesota or Georgia or whatever borrow my stuff than the techs that usually steal it from the next town over. That's why I get a little edgy about that.
Yeah.
And then bad stuff happens, and then I get called names. But
and how long have you been in a business out there?
22 years this year. 22 years. Yeah. And so
right.
I've seen the evolution of this, and I see, with the smartphones and the tablets and whatnot, I see our business shrinking a little bit on the home end user type of thing, but I don't really see it shrinking as much on the business side. I'm probably getting more business now. They've fired their IT directors, or they just don't hire them, or they're part-time. Pat, can you come in? And really the home business part of it built the business part of it, where someone says, my computer's screwing up, and I got Pat taking care of my computer at home. Why don't you just have him come into the shop here and see if you can fix it? Right. And so I've gotten a lot of business that way. Got a lot of referrals with customers on Facebook. The other day, I just put out there a link on Facebook. Hey, if I've done you a good job, leave me a review. And boom, like that, I had about 120 new reviews. And
wow.
I had a couple of bad ones just from some drive-by ones that I just hate.
Yep.
I know your review manager guy could have probably saved those for me, but and I had one from about 6 months ago. In Iowa, we have spotty cell phone coverage in some places, and it went down in a valley and dropped the call. Well, the guy thought I hung up on him, and I thought the conversation was over. I thought he hung up on me. I didn't give it a second thought. Gets on Facebook and Google both and just rips me a new one. 1 star, if it even deserved that. And so anyway, somehow, some way, I provided a service for a relative of his or donated to a cause, because I give back to our community. And anyway, he said he come back on Facebook and said, about 6 months ago, I gave Pat a really bad review, and I'm here to reverse that and say a bunch of good things and all sorts of stuff. And so I don't exactly know what I did. I thanked him for it, and we moved along. But like I said, in Iowa, we have these peaks and valleys, and he thought I hung up on him. I thought he hung up on me. So anyway,
it's way too easy for people to leave a review, like just on a whim. They could just be having a bad day or something, and then they can leave you a 1-star review. And especially if you're just starting out, that can tank your reputation in just one fell swoop.
And usually I call them out. I say, Sue, I checked my bookkeeping records. I don't think we've done business together.
Right.
You may want to review this. And some are just drive-by ones. It used to be on your phone, on Facebook, when you were going through your phone, scrolling on your phone, it would automatically hit 1 star first, and some people didn't know they were even doing it.
Interesting.
And so that's kind of what we had. Now it's kind of a little check system. But anyway, what I'm really looking forward to is, before we get into everything, is the convention in Chicago. I'm really looking forward to that. That's been, I got in on that right away, and that's my
thing you did, because it sold out quick.
Yeah, that's my first convention I've been to since 2010. I went to something in Ohio at the factory that used to build computers and whatnot. I used to order stuff on there. The guy used to call me once a week. Do you need anything? It's like he had a stogie. Do you need anything?
Right.
No, I don't need anything. So anyway, I went out there twice to some little small town in Ohio where they had a factory and toured their plant. And then after that, I never went to another computer convention at all. I've done a lot of social media conventions, been speaking at them and attending them, and entrepreneur conventions, but this will be the first one out of the chute, and I'm glad it's in Chicago. I drive a half hour north. $75 gets me one way, $75 brings me back. So I'm excited for that. Wizard World is going to be out there at the same time, so I'm going to go on Thursday night and check out a few things at Wizard World too. So that's what I'm excited about.
Got to double up, right? It's
You
while
bet.
you're gonna be in town.
Yeah,
Now,
So anyway, I'm a big fan of that, and I'm really looking forward to meeting a few people that I see on your site, and
right.
maybe they're looking forward to meeting me. Who knows? But anyway,
That'll be great.
what we've been dealing with in Iowa lately, and I'll preface this by saying that we still all have our landlines, and we're all old, and so that makes us a perfect target for these phone thieves that call people, and they're predators, calling people saying that they're from Microsoft or they're from the Windows, and now they've been spoofing HP numbers. And I got one the other day because I still have a landline. I've got my shop number and my landline home phone number. They roll into my cell phone. And so I had some tech from HP claim that I bought something from HP and I was owed a refund of $175. And if he just let me into the computer, he could get me to the website I needed to go to claim my money.
Mm-hmm.
And so we had some fun with him for a while, and they get frustrated. They swear, they hang up. I'm surprised I'm on their do not call list. I should be.
Right.
But these older people, and from Iowa, we have a slogan called Iowa Nice. We're really nice.
Right.
And so if they call, we have basically three types of calls. We have the bogus Microsoft calls, and they will get in your computer and they will have you hit the Windows key and the R, and they'll make you type this and they'll make you type that till they get in. And I do remote repair, and for me, I lose patience when they can't hit the right keys. I can only imagine what these folks from overseas are doing. Yes. If they had an upper Midwest accent like you and I do, we would make $1 billion off these old people by scamming them this way.
Right.
I'm glad they don't hire people with voices like ours.
Well, you just gave them the idea. Now they're
there we go. Yeah, there you go. They'll probably hire them through OnForce. Needed tech that can speak English with an upper Midwest accent and likes to talk to old people. So, and so the next one is the IRS calls. This is the IRS. I mean, this is some foreign guy you can barely understand. The IRS calls, and you owe this much money, and you're going to pay this off in an eBay gift card. Yeah, geez, I just didn't know that the IRS took eBay these days. Well, anyway, they scam people on that, and if you don't pay them, they'll call the police on you. And so they've scared all the old people that and I mean it's funny to us, but it's not funny to them, because when they fall for it, they call me, and usually they get locked out of their computer. And so that I'll cover that in a second. That's the marketing end of it. And the first thing this is, don't tell my kids, because what's going to happen is if Helen has her computer hacked into like that, and I tell the kids, the next thing is, Ma doesn't need a computer. Ma's headed for the nursing home. And that just scares the hell out of these older people. They don't want to hear that. They want to convince their kids are independent. They don't want. And so then with older people too, is the new one too is the grandchild scam. We call them grandma scams. Where, Grandma, this is Billy, and I'm in Mexico in jail, and I need a Western Union gift card and money, whatever, to bail me out. And so, luckily, some of our convenience stores around here are aware of that, and they will refuse service on gift cards over $100.
Right.
I know that the one lady tried to buy the eBay gift. She needed $3,500 in eBay gift cards.
Jeez.
and the one place sold her $100 worth and said, it's a scam. Don't do it. And the other unscrupulous place in the same town says, we'll take the money. Anyway, they sold her $3,400 for the eBay gift cards, and that was it. Boom, everything's gone. So, but now here's what we do. Here's what I do.
Yep.
Is when they get locked out of their computer, first of all, they may not get locked out. Pat, I just want to have you come over, check all the settings. Usually sometimes they'll put in CC Cleaner. I saw one yesterday, they put in some bogus sounded official system cleaner 2,000,
Yeah. There's so many of them. Yeah.
Yeah. And so I just eliminate those. I do check, though, to make sure when I'm on site that they don't have a log me in program that's in there or any sort of remote software that they can sneak back in on it, because then that's bad news. I tell them, when I unhook all this stuff, you're going to get a call saying, what happened? How come we're not still hooked up? And all this and that sort of thing. When they call me, I go through a checklist. You didn't let them in the computer, did you? Well, yeah. You didn't give them any money, did you? Well, yeah. You call the bank, then you call me, because you got to get that stopped. Sometimes they're a little, late on the spot as far as processing that credit card. And if it's the United States, before the end of the business day, you can maybe get that wrangled back. But what they want to do is they want to have a debit card payment. So sometimes that's like that. I've had bank presidents have their moms get swindled on this stuff. And even the bank president says, Mom, they recorded you saying, yes, you agree to the terms of service.
Yikes.
I can't even get you out of it.
Yeah.
So then what happens next is they say, well, I turn the computer on and it says, what's your password? And I didn't put a password in it. Well, they did the syskey thing. They put the syskey password. So I was running into these quite a bit. And so I bought a disc from Passcape. And geez, it was $350, but I made several copies there. One in my car, one at home, several around the house. And so anyway, that also helps me with other password situations too. But the Passcape will reset the sys key in a matter of, it takes a little while, but anyway, it scans. Most normally, if they set the sys key password, it's 1 or 1 2 or 1 2 3 or 1 2 3 4. It's really easy because they had to do it quick. So before you really go all into it, check the 1 1 1 2 3 type thing first. So, but what they do is they say, well, we want $400 to unlock the computer, or you lose everything because there's no way around it. And so what I do is I usually charge half of what the ransom is, and that's what I charge. So if the ransom was $150, I charge $75. If it was $400, I charge $200. So everybody,
that's called, and that's like a perfect example of value pricing. So you're not pricing based on the labor necessarily. You're pricing based on the value of the service to the customer, and your years of experience on having the know-how to fix this. You can maybe do it really quickly, but that's not what they're paying you for. They're paying you to avoid the ransom, and because you're the expert. And that can be applied, I think, to lots of different services. It's definitely something to think about, but I think that's a great way to look at it.
And if they say, I don't have anything on that computer, I really don't care, then it's just a service call, and I hit the reformat button, and away we go. So, I'm there either way to make some money and to provide a service. So if it's reformatting it, it is. But I said, why you're going to spend a lot of time having me reload all these programs? You put your Office in, some sort of antivirus in, and this and that, and get your email set back up. It's going to end up being $200, if not more anyway. Let's just do the code and get it over with. So,
and these situations can make for great fodder for marketing. Just content in general. Warning people about these different scams, how to spot them, how to avoid them. All that stuff. I think it's perfect to just keep putting out there on social media and newsletters and stuff like that. Hope it helps a few people, and definitely some folks are still getting, like you said, to still fall for it no matter how many times you try to warn them.
And now you have, what I found out though is on the cell phone stuff and even on the computer stuff, I was at a blogging conference about a month ago, and they were talking about plugins that will help you generate revenue. One of the plugins must have been used because every time, one of the gals said, every time I use that plugin from that company, I'd get these bogus virus things on the phones, and my customers would see a website full of call this number. So I don't, off the tip of my tongue, I don't have the name of that company, but be careful when you buy an AdWords package or whatever those AdSense packages are, that they're not filled with these third-party things that send the customer to call a number for this bogus computer work.
Right. And so when you're talking about that, is that like plugins like on your website?
Yeah. It's a revenue builder for your, they named 4 revenue builders for your website that would place ads on your website. And
yeah, I mean, I would highly recommend, especially for computer business owners, to not have ads on your website, because you want to be funneling everyone who lands on your website to your business.
Right. And I remember that was talked about on your computer marketing group. They had quite a vicious discussion of that for a while, or I shouldn't say vicious, but energetic discussion of that for a while. And I have affiliate marketing on mine, but mine will send it to maybe Malwarebytes, and I'll get a kickback, type of thing. So
I think that's definitely that's a different story, right?
Yeah.
That's a product that you're endorsing, that you're pushing,
right.
As opposed to these like AdSense where any random ad could show up, and it might be for who knows what.
Yeah, it could be for Norton, it could be for Russian women. It just it just depends.
Yep.
Browsing habits. Not that I've ever seen the Russian women. So anyway, this has led into another discussion and I just posted on Facebook today, hey, what if on a given Saturday morning, I just meet I set up shop at a local coffee shop, and we just have a general discussion. If you can't get your iPad to get on the internet, or you're having trouble with a phone setting, or some basic stuff, let's bring it up and have a talk about the coffee shop from 8 until 10 in the morning. The understanding is going to be, if it's going to be real labor intensive, then I'm going to set an appointment. You're going to pay for it. But a general discussion can open up so many of these things about these Microsoft calls, about these bogus things, about general safety on your device.
So this like kind of like an office hours type of situation where you're there and anybody can come and kind of
pick my brain for 2 hours, and I'm not going to charge, but it's more of a goodwill thing for me. But I think it will turn into a revenue stream
for sure.
Because if somebody brings their laptop in and I just have trouble getting to this one website and it's full of pop-ups, I'm going to say, no, we need to set an appointment for that. That's something more than just typing in.
And sometimes it takes those kind of more in-depth conversations to get someone to convert to a customer, because they're not sure. Maybe they're not sure what their problem is. They're not sure if you're able to fix it, and they're afraid to call you like during business hours. They don't want to bother you. So that's a great way to open up your doors and say, hey, come, pick my brain. You might need my help, you might not, but I think that's a great idea.
And I had one the other day that she called, set an appointment, and left me a message to call her back. I called her back, and I said, "How'd you hear about me?" "Well, I Googled you." "Okay, great. Something must have worked." And so anyway, I had her booked. I was going to be at her house at 2:00 on a Wednesday, and that was just fine. She calls me about noon. She says, "The more I think about this, the more sketchy this seems. I really don't think that I want you to come to the house. I'm just going to take this to the local guy in town, in the next town over, and I'm going to just take it to a shop." I said, "Well, I don't understand." I said, "Have you ever had a plumbing problem?" "Yeah, I had a clogged sink once." I said, "Did you take the sink into the plumber, or did the plumber come to you?"
Right.
"Well, yeah, it just seems sketchy." She kept using that word, sketchy. I said, "You ever buy anything on Amazon?" "Well, yeah, a lot." I said, "What store do you go to for that?" "Well, yeah." I said, I guess you're just going to lose out then, because I said, I could probably take care of this at half the cost of what you're going to spend. And I said, if I'm sketchy, so be it. So I hung up on her. But and of course,
there's nothing. Some customers you just can't convince, and they just have something in their mind where they don't want to work with you for whatever reason.
Yeah, and so it wasn't any skin off me, but it just I've for years, when you're born, all you've got your reputation. All you've got your name and your reputation. You try and keep that good over the years, and so that's why I don't. I don't like to farm for reviews. That's just me, because you never know, somebody leave a bad one. And, but I've also found, we had a social media conversation the other day. I did a class, and someone says, I don't even want to get in that group that talks about businesses because I don't want them to say anything bad about my business. Well, let's say something bad about it. Just because you're not there to look doesn't mean they're not going to say anything bad.
That's right.
You're there to defend it. Or if you've got a good following, your customers can defend it. And that's where I'm at now in my my career, is if something goes south a little bit, which it happens to all of us, or if it's interpreted going south and somebody leaves you a 1-star, at least you've got a plethora of people who can jump in and say, hey, you must have had a bad day, or it's on you, not on me.
Right. Yep. They can vouch for you, basically.
Yeah. So,
and that leads us to the discussion that's been happening recently on the Computer Business Marketing Facebook page. That's come up a couple times where, especially with Facebook, you want to, some people want to make it seem like they're, especially if they're just getting started, make it seem like they're popular. So they go to Fiverr or something, and there are these the jobs you can get where you can buy, hundreds or thousands of likes, just, robots or spammers or whatever, liking your page. That boosts up your numbers. And then I guess the thought is that then, when someone comes to your page, they see, hey, this guy's really popular. Let me hire him. Or someone else in the group, and I don't think this is true, but said that if you have, the more likes you have, the more likely your posts are to be seen by your customers. But to me, that doesn't make sense, because your posts are going to be seen by those fake like people who aren't your customers. So why don't you kind of tell us your philosophy behind likes? Because your Facebook page has got lots of likes. And those are all kind of natural likes. So first talk about, your philosophy on buying likes, and then let people know how you've been able to build up your Facebook likes.
Well, my philosophy is that if I doubt I'm going to do, I don't even know anybody in India. I can pick India out on a globe, but that's about as much as I can do with India. So I'm not marketing to India. I'm marketing to the United States. I do let people in Canada see my page. These are all in the settings on your Facebook page. So I've got a few friends in England and a few friends in Australia, and a few of my friends from the United States go to Australia for this or that. And so I want them to be able to see my page. Right. So to me, it really dilutes the base. And we have a convenience store in Hampton, and the guy who founded this convenience store said, I would rather have one customer 1,000 times than 1,000 customers once.
Interesting.
And so I would rather have 200 likes of customers that can do repetitive business with me than 3,000 likes of people I'm never going to see and still do business with the same 250 people.
Right. And you mentioned India because, when you do buy these likes, a lot of times the people who are liking your page are from, East Asian countries or countries that, Eastern Europe or wherever that you've never visited. You'll never have clients there. And so you can kind of spot, a page that has done this if you look through their friends list or the people who've liked them and see people who obviously aren't from the United States.
Back in the day, there was a little loophole on Facebook. If you went to their business page, you could look at their most popular customer and where they were from. And my competitor all of a sudden got a bunch of likes, and I looked, and his most popular customer is from Hong Kong. And so I knew right then and there, something's not right. Right. And I've checked a couple of people that I know on your group. I'm not going to mention names, of course, but anyway, they were always blown about how many likes they had. And so finally, here's a website. If you can include it somewhere when this is all said and done. Yep. www.fblikecheck.com. fblikecheck.com. I can then see, and I posted a couple times on your page some examples. I remember I posted it for the one person, and then another person, I said, well, you're not doing too bad. He was worried about exclusion, and if they had students from China that came over to the United States to do stuff. Well, college kids aren't on Facebook anyway. It doesn't matter. That's not how you're going to reach them. So,
Yeah. Well, so getting into that, so you mentioned that there's ways on Facebook that you can actually block people from other countries from viewing your page, and that can kind of prevent, getting likes from people who are never going to be your customer.
Right.
And that's, said somewhere in your page settings.
Yeah. And I believe this started about 2016, and that's when I discovered it. Might have been a little bit before then. Let me go over to my Facebook page here. And if you go along the top, you bring your page up and you go to settings. And then under general settings, country restrictions is what we're going to look for.
Gotcha.
And so you can set country restrictions. You can exclude people from this country or include people from that country. And so, like I said, I've got United States, Canada, United Kingdom, and Australia. The rest can't see it. So there's no need.
And the importance there is that, when you post something on Facebook and you don't boost it or you don't pay for an advertisement, only a small percentage of the people who like your page are going to see it. And you want to make sure that small percentage are actually people that could purchase your services and that are local to you. And so if you get these likes from other places and you post something on Facebook, you might be a bunch of robots in India are going to see your post.
Yeah.
And then, of course, when you boost a post or when you purchase a Facebook advertisement, you have the option to promote it to people who liked your page. Mm-hmm. So you want to, or to people who like your page and their friends. Mm-hmm. So you want to make sure that the people who like your page are in your area so that their friends are also in their area. And it pays off, in multiple ways.
And of course, as I always say, Matthew, every time a post is boosted, a kitten dies. Probably yours.
That's why I don't have any kittens.
Yeah, I boosted so many posts. But, that's and we have this. I once in a while I drive north to Minneapolis, and there's a social media guru up there. I hate the term social media expert because nobody's an expert at any of this. And she's got 10,000 likes, and in her class on Facebook advertising, she promotes doing this, and so she's got 2,200 people from the United States who like her page. And the next one is Bangladesh at 3,000. The next one's India at, 2,500. Yeah. And the list goes on and on. I mean, it's just so sad because she's steering people down the wrong road, I think.
Right. Yeah. And I think, that might have worked way back, when in the early days of Facebook, when really it was just the likes was it. That's all. The more likes you had, the more popular you were. And that was like the currency. But now there's so many other things going on Facebook, and likes don't really hold the weight that they did before. And you really do want likes to just be legitimate customers or people who could be your customers.
Yeah, back in the day when Facebook pages started, I think about 2010, the only way to see content on a business page was you had to like it.
Right.
And so what I did was, of course, I'm a big proponent of doing parades. Every Saturday I'm out doing a parade. And so in the local Franklin County Fair parade in our county, it's a big, huge parade. And I would number Frisbees 00 to 99, and then I'd throw them out the window. And before the parade started, I would write down, or after the parade ended, I would write down three numbers. And then the first Frisbee was drawn. That number was 62. I would post that number on my Facebook page. You had to like my page to see the number.
Right.
And so throwing out 100 Frisbees, there's probably, I'd say 10,000 people along the parade route. So, and they all knew to see that number, you had to look on Facebook.
And that is a great way to get likes, right? You want likes from people who It's great to have likes from your customers who are
Right.
your customers, but it's even better to get likes from people who aren't your customers,
Right.
so that they can, get into your kind of your ecosystem
Yeah,
of.
and I knew they were in my town. They were right along
Yeah,
the parade route, right
right.
down Main Street,
Yep.
and so I knew they knew how to get to Hampton, my town. So anyway, yeah. So then they opened it up, and then you didn't have to, you could see all the content without liking the page. I wish they'd go back to that. I really wish they would, because that would really build a lot of likes for a lot of people, legitimate
Yeah.
likes.
But likes for other companies don't make Facebook money. So
No. And I always look at, right now we're dealing in North Iowa, and maybe you deal with it wherever you're at too, is on Facebook you'll say, enter this contest. We're going to give away this mouse. And to win this mouse, you have to like our page, you have to like the post, you have to comment, you have to share, and you have to tag 4 friends to win this mouse. Well, little do most people know that most of that is illegal to do on Facebook and could get your page taken down. In the rules, the terms and conditions, you don't have to like a page to enter the contest.
right.
You can like the post, you can comment on the post to enter a contest. You can't share the post, and you can't tag people in the post to run a normal contest. That's why I like WooBox or Rafflecopter. Rafflecopter, what they do is when you set this up with Rafflecopter, you can capture their email address. That's what you want out of a contest. You don't care if they like your page. You want their email. You want their contact information. So you can require them. I won a contest the other day from Minnesota Tourism with their science center. I won it for my in-law, my nephew and niece and their parents. Entered through Rafflecopter. They captured my email address, which I give them my secondary one for Windows and siding salesman. I had to visit their blog, and I had to type a comment on their blog that got recorded. I had to like their Twitter page, type something on their Twitter page. I had to go to Facebook and type something on their Facebook page. That's how I got multiple entries into that contest through Rafflecopter. And so those are what major brand. I don't see Three Musketeers candy company putting on their page, like, share, and tag 5 friends who like Three Musketeers, and you'll win a case of Three Musketeer bars. I just don't see major brands. These major brands are spending oodles and gobs of money on social media managers. And since they're doing that, maybe I can learn a little bit from them and not make the same mistakes. A few years ago, one of the major brands, I can't remember if it was Doritos or Oreos, had their page suspended for a while because they had too much information in their header. They had a call to action or something in their header, and it used to be an 80%. You couldn't have more than 80% of your covered in text, whatever.
Right.
You couldn't used to have a phone number in your header.
Yep.
So
that's changed, right? You can. They've relaxed those rules.
Yeah,
these days.
yeah.
Yep.
But what they don't, Facebook doesn't want your contest to interrupt other pages. That's why the sharing and the tagging is strictly forbidden, but yet there's no way to report it. And that's what I wish they would. So,
right.
But
so moving on, we have time to cover maybe one more topic.
Okay.
You had mentioned earlier about Google Alerts, how you can use Google Alerts to help you kind of get visibility into what's going on online.
I love Google Alerts. I put my own name in there. I put my business name in there, and I put my competitor's business name in there. So anytime in the media, if my name, I have also my town name. If Hampton, Iowa is mentioned in my town, or and online anywhere, it sends me a Google alert for what my town is. And maybe there's a news story. Maybe I can contact that source and say, I'm from Hampton, Iowa, and here's what it's like in our town. Or I can turn that news story into some sort of a marketing thing with my computer business or social media business as well. So those are a couple things I use with Google Alerts. That's just handy for me. Or if my competitors are doing something, I want to be on top of what they're doing and see if my name's mentioned.
Right. That's something that I hadn't thought of doing is putting competitors in there. That way you can see like what marketing they're doing. Maybe if they get mentioned in the paper, you can see, what they're doing and how to either copy or do better than what they're doing.
I mean, sometimes, Xbox store gave $100 to the Little League team. I mean, and that would pop up in my feed maybe, so stuff like that. I just track competitors, and I just bought another competitor's website today that's been abandoned, And if somebody had that in their bookmarks, their favorites, and went to it instead of a 404, it gets forwarded over to the old computer guy here.
Love it. And that you do that with phone numbers too, right?
Yes, I bought several phone numbers out.
Yep.
Because once you buy somebody's phone number, you just bought their company.
Right. That's right. That's great. Well, hey, I think we're about out of time, but lots of great tips, lots of stuff for people to take back and implement. Derek in the chat said this conversation is gold, and and Michael said there's nothing like genuine reviews from real people. By the way, Michael Fierros, he's going to be a guest on next week's show.
Yeah, I saw that.
We're going to chat with him about what he's been doing in his fairly new business. So we have kind of a veteran in the field here today, and then Michael next week is going to give us kind of the perspective of someone just starting out, and he's doing a lot with social media as well.
And I certainly look forward to talking to anybody who wants to sit down for 5 or 10 minutes at this. Tell me what the convention name is again. I can't.
IT Owners Compass.
IT Owners Compass. The big name of things now is called Summit. Everyone's having a summit.
Right. Yeah, we wanted to be a little bit different, and so something that you don't hear often. And so IT Owners Compass, I think, is good. Because they're, part of the thing is going to be a boat ride down the Chicago River. So, not only will we guide you with your compass on your business, but we'll also actually take you on a boat and guide you down the river. So yeah, it's going to be a great mix of business and pleasure, and I'm really looking forward to that.
Excellent.
And even if you don't, hey guys, if you're listening, even if you don't have tickets to the event, just come down to Chicago while we're there and say hi if you're in the area, because we're going to be hanging out those evenings at some of the places around there.
The White Sox are in town. The Cubs are out of town.
Okay. Good to know. All right, man. So if people wanted to say hi or just say thank you, where can they find you? I know it's not hard.
They can, Pat the Computer Guy is my Facebook page. Just start there and we'll go from there. Pat the Computer Guy
right.
is there. Like the page. And if you see something I'm posting that you want to borrow, hey, it'd be nice to let me know and say, hey, can I borrow that graphic or whatever? I don't have a problem with that. I've got problems with my local competitors doing that, but I don't have a problem with somebody in Georgia borrowing one of my graphics or anything like that. Just whatever.
Right, and that leads me to the Facebook group. So if you guys want to hang out with Patrick and I and get some of the great tips that he's leaving over there, just go to techsitebuilder.com/group, and that'll forward you to the Computer Business Marketing Facebook group. It's a great place to it's a very sharing community there. So let folks know what you're doing well, and then ask questions about what you're not doing well or what's not working out for you, and people will help you out. It's a great place. All right, Pat. Well, thanks for hanging out with us today on such short notice, and as always, very informative, and look forward to seeing you in a couple months.
You bet.
All right, guys. So before we head out, just wanted to remind you of our second sponsor, and that is Tech Blog Builder. Tech Blog Builder is a new service we just rolled out, and it's basically a blog writing service for your computer business website. What I love about blogs and why I started the service was I see a lot of computer business owners either trying to write their own blogs and not doing a great job of it. Because let's face it, we're not writers, right? We're techs, and we're business owners, entrepreneurs. Writing is a different kind of uses a different part of your brain. So we try it, we don't do a good job, or we get into it, we get do like 5 posts in a row, and then we just run out of time. And then like a year later, you visit your blog, and there's like a post from 2016, and it's about something that's way outdated. What I like about blog posts, though, is that content can be repurposed in lots of different ways. So not only is it on your website, so people who visit your website could get information, it also helps with search engine optimization. So if someone happens to be searching for the topic that blog post was written about, and it's a local type of thing, your post will probably show up at the top, because not a lot of other people are talking about that specific topic in your area. So it's great for SEO. Also, it's great for information that you can put out on social media. You can send it in a newsletter. You can print it out and send it in a physical mail letter. But blog posts can be repurposed for so many things. So what we do at Tech Blog Builder is we have professional copywriters write those posts for you. And we make it so that it's easy for regular people to understand, but it's still about technical topics. And then And then you have those blog posts written for you on a regular basis that you can repurpose, newsletters, social media, on your website, and it can continue to generate leads for you and earn money for you. And that's what Tech Blog Builder has been doing for the people who've been signing up. Is they're noticing spikes in their visitors on their website. They're getting a lot more leads because of it, and it just kind of frees up that time that you would rather be spending doing something else than sitting there writing a blog post. So check it out. Go head on over to techblogbuilder.com. We are going to be increasing the price in the next month or two, because right now we're basically breaking even with it. So we're going to have to increase the price pretty soon. So, get in while the iron's hot, strike while the iron's hot, get in there, and then get regular blog posts written for your computer business. So check that out, techblogbuilder.com. And that's going to do it for this episode of the Computer Business Marketing Show. Let us know what you think. Head over to computerbusinessmarketing.com and leave a comment in the show notes. There you can also find all the links we mentioned in this episode. So we'll have links to like the Facebook like checker and the Rafflecopter and Google Alerts, all the stuff we talked about in the show. Just go to computerbusinessmarketing.com, find it there. Also, don't forget to leave a review for the podcast. If you listen to this podcast in iTunes or Stitcher, we love hearing from you. Let me see, no new reviews as of this moment. So we definitely want to hear what you think of the podcast, and we love to see those reviews. Finally, don't forget to check out our sponsors, techreputation.com and techblogbuilder.com. Thanks, guys, for checking out this episode of the Computer Business Marketing Show. My name is Matthew Rodella, saying here's to your success.